things. I never thought I'd actually be doing the things I like want to do for a living. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's always the thing, man. Once you start doing like, I don't know, something that that you're passionate about, it's like, holy shit, I'm making a living doing this. This is pretty crazy. The
Yeah,
podcast to kind of like lift up.
yeah, exactly. It's like you're doing that your thing that you're passionate about. So it's feels really good to actually be able to say that and actually make it happen, because I really didn't think as like years ago, if you told me like, yeah, you're gonna have your own business doing like video production, I'd be like, yeah, right. How the hell is that going to even happen? Like there's a lot of doubts, but things over time change, and my view and perspective of things change. So,
Yeah, man.
but
Yeah, that's great.
yeah,
Tell me about. It's not just apparel that you guys are doing. You said video production as well. Just kind of skimming through your Instagram or Instagrams rather. There's a lot of videos. is
yeah,
is that helpful for
yeah.
your
With
business?
Yeah, so like with like yeah, obviously with Boner Time, all the creation comes from like Room for Cream.
Mhm.
So like anything that's like related to like with Boner Time, it's like all the creation I'm working on from all the stuff that I do with Room for Cream. So it's like hand in hand, and they go together.
Yeah.
So like the graphics and stuff like that, and like video stuff. So we work to make that apparel, that brand happen.
Is that all you?
So
All the design and everything?
no, it's not all me. So my partner that is with Room for Cream Films, Jenny Gosnell, she does all like the graphic work for everything and the branding um, for Boner Time. Uh, and Boner Time as well is like a collaborative effort with my buddy Colin Bill, who runs a clothing company called Hero Heads.
Mhm.
So I guess I can like trail back to like how Boner Time even started.
Yeah, that'd be great, man.
Um, yeah, because it was really interesting in how it happened at the time. This was probably about let's say like 4 years ago.
Mhm.
Something like that, maybe a little bit longer, maybe like 4 to 6 years ago. I was working for a video production agency in Morro Bay called Dark Horse, and that was kind of like my first into like doing commercial work. And we're doing a lot of local stuff here in Morro Bay and then San Luis as well. And at the time, this dude Colin, who's friends with the owner of that company, ended up coming visiting California, and he brought like a couple of these shirts, said Boner Time Las Americanas, and I was like, wait, what? Like, what is this? And he's like, well, back on a trip in El Salvador, him and his buddies were on a surf trip, and you know, it happened to be the most perfect moment for them. Perfect weather, the vibes, everything was just in its, what we say is like in its right place. Everything was like at a perfect moment. So when everybody was just like, man, this is Boner Time. And it just kind of like, it all made sense at that moment. And they were like, yeah, man, this is it, And so Colin hopped on that and was like, we need to create something out of this. So he hired a graphic designer to come up with this initial logo for it, and he made like a bunch of different apparel. But at the time, he was working with Hero Heads, which is like hand drawn inspirational um, heroes all on shirts. And that company just ended up taking up. And like Boner Time was still on the side, but his attention was not towards it. And he saw, like, we met and we instantly clicked. And he was like, man, this is like such a Cali vibe brand. Maybe you can, if you're into it, take the torch and see what you can do with it.
Yeah.
And so since then we've been like collaborating back and forth. And I was like, it was been a slow start. Our whole intention was like just to have fun with the brand, not to make a bunch of money, like explode it or anything like that. It's more like, let's just start it local and get it out there and have fun with it and make some fun designs, some crazy fun videos, and see where it goes. So,
Yeah.
and then since, yeah, it's been fun. It's been creating some fun stuff. It's like the last, like, I feel since the pandemic even started, it was kind of like, okay, I need to start gearing towards it, because the balance of like running like an apparel company. Like I wouldn't even say it's like very big or anything, but then like doing video production as well and that side of the business. And so it's like trying to find that balance in between the two. So it's been good. I've been finding it now. So it's like anytime I'm like I have any time off from like doing video production for Room for Cream for different clients, I can like focus my energy onto like doing boner time, I guess, content. So, but
Yeah, it's good to
yeah,
see that tax return, like just boner time. Just seeing it, we were talking a little bit before we got started. The invite for the meeting today was it, how was it titled? My Shitty Podcast with Boner Time or something like that. Or
exactly.
the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it made me laugh. It's funny because like people see it and it just makes a person laugh. They can, and it has so many ways the person can take it, you know, like how they can read it and see it. Because it's almost like a double take. They're like, wait, does that say boner time? Yeah, like, yeah. And they're like, all right. It's cool. Just getting different people's reactions towards it. It's great. I mean, even with like Room for Cream films, it's like, I don't know, people are always like, what does that even mean? You know, what do you, like some people think we're a porn company. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. With Boner Time and Room for Cream, it's very, I would say that's probably, is that the biggest like misconception that you run into?
Yeah, I had okay, so on the side of my van, I was like, all right, you know what? We should like, put Room for Cream films. And then I have like stickers in the back that says boner time. And I was like, I'm not even kidding you. I had this I had multiple occurrences, but this one lady, this older lady, and was older, always with older people, like maybe in the 50s and up.
Yeah.
And this lady, older lady, she's like, comes up to the bench, she's like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. What is Room for Cream films? What does that mean? I was like, well, what do you think it means? Where you go inside the van and jerk off? And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, are you kidding me? This like a 7-year-old lady just like says this blatant to me and like feels so embarrassed. I was like, no, it's like you go to a coffee shop, you ask Room for Cream. That
Yeah.
was like, but it's so funny that like people that do see it, it's like straight. They just think like porno. It's hilarious. I mean,
Yeah.
even for boner time, it's like obviously, I mean, boner is like in the word, but it's pretty funny. We're like kind of just changing the way words are like defined, I guess.
Sure.
It's kind of
Yeah.
way.
You come in with a like, oh, it's a German company. This is called Bonner Time. I don't know where your head's at. Like that's
Yeah, yeah,
terrible.
exactly. But yeah, it's pretty funny like with the play word. So I ended up like taking the logo off the side of the van because it just became like I just kept I was just tired of explaining it to like so many different people, and it just became like I was like, all right, you know what? I don't want to like just keep doing this. People like just like I would have like literally people like older guys like, oh yeah, he's like, what do you guys do? And I'm like, oh, video production. He's like, oh yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I was like,
Ever
I
seen
guess
this-
like if everything go, we can like become a porn company, but geez, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I think it's so funny. I love it. I love comedy and stuff, so it just makes me laugh.
That's great. What was your upbringing like before you get started? It seems like you've got this like mentality of I don't know, like earning your own wage. So like I'm just curious if you had an upbringing of like mowing lawns to buy your first car or a lemonade stand or something like that. Were you inspired like that at all? Or is this something brand new?
um, yeah. So my parents, both my parents, my dad was born in the Middle East, in Iraq, and my mom is from Romania. Both coming from small villages. So my dad's like his like goal was to just get out from where he was living in Iraq. It was wars all the time, still to this day, and he just wanted to get out of there. And his goal was to come to the U.S. and uh, like own his own business and have a family and live out here and like live that American dream, so forth. And he made that happen, and it was crazy because this was like in the 70s, and he barely knew like English, and he made it happen. And then he started his own pizza business out in San Diego, where I was born. And from then he started working and making different pizza shops and stuff. So I ended up like being born into the pizza industry with my dad. So like I started working like at a young age, just like folding boxes and stuff like that. So, and then I ended up like, working with my dad and running a pizza shop for well over 10 years. So I never like actually had like, I worked for somebody else. It was kind of my dad's like, here's this pizza shop, and like, I just like got like, I learned all like the business and customer interactions and things like that. Like just naturally went into it, and I did it for like and yeah, like all my, like till I was what, 25, I would say.
Yeah,
And,
man.
since
Did you
I
say
was like probably 2 years old before I can even remember anything, my dad's like having me fold boxes and I'm like throwing pizzas and I like don't know. It's like made out of sauce, dough, and cheese. But yeah, so just being like born into that, and I don't know, I was really inspired by my dad's like his vision to come out and do something like that. And I thought it was just like his story is incredible, that what he did at that time. So, and I was like, well, I don't want to make, I don't want to own a like pizza restaurant. I don't want to make pizza for the rest of my life. And he was like, really, he agreed on that. He's like, yeah, you should go do things you want to go do, make something at yourself. So that's when I started getting into filming like pretty early on, probably when I was like 14, filming BMX.
yeah.
So I filmed like a lot of like BMX that's how I started and got into it. And I was like, as soon as I started filming my friends, I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. I love it. So I ended up doing that for well over like 10 years, 10, 15 years, I would say. I've just like started getting into it from there. And yeah, it's been awesome. I never thought I would be able to like keep doing that, because it was a point where I'm like, man, I don't want to move to LA. And like, it was a point I was like, I want to go to film school, but I don't want to spend 100 grand in a year and be in debt and then become like maybe just like some assistant for some production company that like is some dead end job or something. I'm like, fuck, man. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I just kept doing it, and then opportunities started coming floating my way. So and I
Yeah.
just kind of hopped onto it.
Cool, man. It sounds like you've been grinding since you've been a little kiddo. So
Yeah,
that definitely
yeah,
makes sense. So you didn't have any official like school uh like official, I don't know. You didn't go to college for film or anything like that. You don't have any like official training for it. You just started doing it. Which by the way, I think
yeah.
is like I was just gonna say,
I like started. Yeah, it's like I took like some classes like at Hancock, just to learn like a few like little things,
yeah.
but most of it was just like, I mean, at the time, and like with YouTube and stuff, and like this was like early YouTube stages, some people were like, putting out like little tutorials and stuff like that. So I would look up like, while I was working on BMX projects, like I was producing my first DVD, and I didn't know anything how to create a DVD menu or anything like that. I knew simple editing and stuff like that, but there was like things that I wanted to do. I was like, oh man, I want to make this, I want to make an animation. I want to do something that makes this intro interactive. So I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, I'm gonna do that. So I have the program. So I learned like simple like basics and like the fundamentals to it. So I understand the program. So it's a tool. So you just gotta understand it, figure it out, and then from there I'm like, okay, so that's how he did that. Okay, I'm gonna recreate it, but with my own style.
Right.
And then that's how I ended up like gaining knowledge. And so I'm like, taking these hour-long lectures that these different people that have knowledge in it and are sharing it, and I'm you know I literally would just lock myself in my room for like 8 hours, and just like watch these videos and then just like practice, try it,
Yeah.
put
Amazing.
I'll put it out there. It looks like shit, whatever, I did it. I like try to make my own cartoon called the Space Buds.
Yeah.
And I love cartoons. I thought it was so rad to make your own cartoon, and I made it. I'll send you like a little link of like I started like this Instagram, but it was taking so much time because other things I had, like I was like, oh, I was doing more video stuff. So I was like, fuck, there's so many things I want to do. So, but it was fun like learning it and learning the fundamentals. So a lot of the things that I've learned over the years is just from other professionals online sharing the things. I mean, it's insane. Like you can learn so much. You can spend a lot of time and then just going out into the field and doing it, actually taking, just putting your time and effort into it. And then if you're gonna fail, you're gonna like mess up, and you learn from those things, and you're like, oh, how can I do it better this next time? Or like, what you just trial and error. I think it's like
Right.
most of it's
I think that's like
media
the new
career.
world. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, fine.
Uh, I was just gonna commend you, and I think that's like the new world order kind of way of learning is if you're passionate about it, you don't necessarily need like a textbook that says X, Y, and Z. This is how you do it. You get on YouTube or you figure out this software and you, I don't know, put your nose down and really grind. I think that's an amazing display of grit that you have. So that's awesome, man. Really, really commend you on that. Um, I was I was texting my producer the night before just to go backwards a little bit about
Yeah.
today's podcast, and I said, hey, are we still on for boner time at 11 o'clock? And she texts
You know
back,
what time it is?
yeah, 11 o'clock's great for boner time. Just let me confirm, or something like, let me confirm. And I sent her back like, these are the text messages that ruin relationships. Like, excuse me, who are you texting about boner time at 11? Like, oh, this
Yes, it
is
is.
about the show. I swear,
Yeah.
just
They're
threw
like,
my
let
phone.
me see your phone. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, 11 a.m. boner time.
boner time,
No,
huh?
it's this brand you don't understand. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's great.
Oh, it's great, man. Yeah, so I've already been having fun. We started with this podcast, so nice work, man. Uh, what's your favorite?
Fantastic.
What's your favorite question that you get asked whenever you say like you're in video production and apparel or
Like
in the anim-
question. Um, I guess when a lot of people ask like, oh, like for video, it's like, so what do you do?
Mhm.
It's like, what do you like to film? Like, what kind of video do you do? And it's such a broad question because there's so many things in video. Like, you could do commercial work, you could do weddings, you could do documentaries, you could do comedy skits. So I kind of explain like, yeah, we do all sorts of different stuff. The brand originated from doing like comedy sketches.
Mhm.
So my partner Jenny, we would do these sketches. This is at the time too, like working at Dark Horse at this little video studio here in Morro Bay, which ended up falling through. That's why Room for Cream even started. But that was kind of like how it started, by doing like comedy sketches. So that's what we kind of were known for in the beginning. So that's why I kind of like tell people, I'm like, well, we do a lot of like fun comedy sketches and stuff like that, which now led into like doing like different commercial work. And even some people are like, oh man, I love that you did this like comedy sketch. Can we do something like that? Or we like green screen stuff that we'll do, or something like. So many like questions like people ask like what type of stuff like we like to create. And it's
So
fun
bro,
to kind of like show them some things, because it's like not the average thing. It's like, we're like, I do corporate work as well, but it's like we're open to like so many different things. Mainly like
yeah,
more fun comedy sketches. It's like the best. It's
that's
so
always the
fun.
best, right? Yeah. Do you ever get into animation anymore? I'll bring it back up front where we're what we were talking
Um,
about.
not too like not too much. A little bit, yeah. Like for like certain like, I don't know. Depends like what, if I'm working on a project and it's like doing some green screen animation stuff or stuff in After Effects, I'll still do it, but nothing like cartoon wise or anything like that. Like I haven't put like any like heavy intention into it, but I'll like, if I come up with like an idea, like right now we're going to be gearing up and doing some work with Cayucas Collective, and we're going to be doing a lot of green screen work. So we were coming up with some fun concepts. Like I remember in The Big Lebowski, like how he gets like knocked out, and there's like he goes through this like dream sequence, and then all this crazy shit is happening. He's like flying around through space. So it's like coming up with like cool concepts like that, and like I'm able to like create it in After Effects and like do some fun stuff with it.
Yeah.
But
Who's your biggest
yeah.
inspiration when you look to, I don't know, whenever you look for inspiration, who
Um,
who are you like, oh, I wish you could be like this guy?
Oh man, I gain a lot of inspiration from many different things and artists. For video, I mean, like different directors. Obviously, like my favorite is like Quentin Tarantino.
Sure.
Watching his direct, like just the way he like puts together his films, the actors. I get inspired by different actors and things like that. So there's a lot of different things that inspire me. It could be some like a filmer how they shot something, you know, and I'm like, oh my god, that was amazing how they captured that, you know. Or it could be an artist that has a certain way of how they paint, something like that. And like what inspires me is most is like the originality of something, you know, something that I haven't seen before. I think it's amazing. Someone that come up with something unique. I always I'm always get inspired by a lot of like, especially so many amazing people coming out with like, especially with social media now, it's like bombarded with so many crazy things coming out. It's overwhelming almost, you know. It's like, oh my god, there's so many crazy things. But sometimes I like watch movies or whatever it is, and we'll gain little bits of inspiration. So
Yeah, it's around every corner, man. That's an appropriate question, I think, as far as like everything inspires me. Like sometimes a thumbtack will inspire me if the light's hitting it right or something like that. Like that's
yeah, it's a like a little light bulb will pop off, you know. And it's kind of like I usually would just obviously just sit down and like come up with creative ideas, but there'd be moments where like, say if I watched like an SNL skit or something and I'm like, oh fuck, that was so good. Like I want to, you know, like it would be fun to bounce an idea of something like that, you know. Or like if they shot it a certain way, I'll like remember it, I'll like implant it in my mind. And then when I'm like working on my next shoot or whatever it may be, I'll like have this idea. I'm like, oh man, we should do it like I seen this way it was done. Like let's recreate that. I think it'd be so funny, you know, and like just do things like that. So it's that's I don't know, yeah, it's so cool. It's a lot of fun.
do you hate pizza now? Are you just like I can't? You
I
know?
know, right? I think like after I stopped working with my dad at my dad's shop, I didn't eat pizza for like about a year.
Yeah.
Like, but I still eat pizza. I think I ate pizza like 2 weeks ago. I still like it. It's weird that you don't like. I don't know. It's like something that's like such a simplistic thing. It's like never. It's like you're not gonna not eat it. I mean, some
I
people hate
know.
maybe not into pizza or whatever. But yeah, I grew up just. I mean, surprised. Like, I mean, when I was working a lot with my dad, there'd be times where I like wouldn't eat pizza. I just make different food there. I just start like creating different things, you know, that are not even on the menu. So, but which was
That's
cool. That was like the awesome thing. And then it was funny because like customers would come in and they would be like, "Oh, what's that?" And I was like, "Oh, my lunch." He's like, "I want that." Like, oh shit.
that's
So
donut pizza.
funny.
Just invented it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like make it wasn't on the menu, but I would make like breakfast pizza. I would like scramble eggs and then just put all kinds of different vegetables and like ham or whatever, and then like put it on, you know, and cook it. And it's just like it's like a pizza omelet.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was like so good, and people were just like, "What?" But it was fun.
Uh, nice, man. Do you want to take a little
Yeah.
a small break and from the formal interview and play a ridiculous game that I made up?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, cool, man. This is called Would You Eat It? So the scenario is you are in an Airbnb. The floor looks clean, like it appears to be clean. So you're not sure if you know if it actually if there's a cleaning crew that comes up behind you and sweeps, or if somebody you're not sure about the floor, but it appears to be clean. And you have to make your
Yeah.
decision quickly whether you would eat it or throw it in the trash based on the word that I throw out. So I'm just going to say what the food item is, and you have to say I'm going to throw it away or eat it. Are you ready?
Or eat it right away. Yeah. Got it.
That's your response. You just say eat it or throw it away.
Okay. First glance at this object that you're gonna name that I see on this ground that is somewhat clean.
Yes, it appears to be clean, but it's an air like it's not your own space. You don't know who's been walking
Yeah,
on
it's a
it.
random.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just so random. Okay.
All right. And away. We go. Piece of fudge.
Throw it away.
Throw it away. Okay. Peanut.
Throw it away.
Throw it away. An M&M.
Eat it.
You would eat it. Yes. Dried apricot.
Yeah, I would eat that.
Piece of bacon. A whole
Throw
piece of
that shit
bacon.
away.
Throw the
Yeah.
trash. A
Yeah.
meatball.
No, I'm throwing it away.
Throw it away. Carrot.
Yeah, I ate the carrot.
I ate the carrot. Yeah.
Is it like a big carrot? Yeah.
Cherry
If it's
tomato.
like a baby carrot, sure. If it's like a large carrot, like probably not. I don't know.
You would wait. You would eat the baby carrot, but you would throw the large carrot away.
I mean, yeah, I would probably not eat an entire large carrot.
What do you need it for a recipe?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I guess you could use it. I would just think like if I saw this baby carrot, if I saw a giant carrot on the ground, I'm gonna not just like sit and enjoy it. I guess I would just be like, oh, look, a baby carrot, just eat it. Just that's it. But but just now that I think about it, it's so funny that I just like would walk into an Airbnb and see like, oh, look, a baby carrot. Just eat it.
No, you're standing at the counter and you've got this item. It rolls off. So you these items are yours. They just fell off the
Yeah,
counter and
fantastic.
we're halfway through. Cherry tomato.
Eat it.
Eat it. Okay. Beef jerky.
Yeah, eat it.
Eat it. Yeah. Chocolate covered bananas or a banana.
Yeah, for sure. I love bananas.
Eat it. Yes. And the last one, an almond.
Yeah, almonds. Yeah, I would eat an almond. I cannot pronounce my pronunciation for almond is so jacked. Sometimes I would not pronounce it correctly.
I thought you were
So
making
funny.
a.
Yeah.
I thought you were making fun of like an almond. Yeah, I'll have an almond.
Yeah. Almond? Yeah, I love almonds. Yeah, I would eat an almond. Love almonds.
And I'm over here like, no, that's not the question, man. It's an almond. Yeah, you don't. No, I'm just kidding. That's good. I don't even know what an almond
Jeez,
is.
I would almost eat like 70% of the things you explained. Jesus.
Yeah, nice work, man. That was eat it or throw it away. Good job. All right, back into ridiculousness, or back into the interview rather. Have you ever
Yes.
held a turtle? Have you ever like had a turtle and held that creature in your hand?
No, I haven't.
Not a turtle. Never a turtle.
Never a turtle. I've seen them. But like they were like far away from me.
Yeah.
I've never like actually. My buddy had a giant tortoise in Arizona,
Yeah.
but I'd never held it. But this thing was massive. It's like 3 feet. It's a giant shell. It's crazy, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle status. But I never actually held like a turtle in my hand.
What's the turtle's name?
Oh goddamn! I forget his name.
They usually have
Oh my
cool
God.
names.
Yeah, it's been so long. That turtle was like he had a funny story where he ended up like escaping,
Uh-huh.
and like I think it was like I might be mistaken, maybe 12 hours or 24 hours. It was gone, but it ended up being found, but it was like fucking like 3 or 4 miles away from the house, and it was
Wow.
crazy because you think like turtles like move slow, but no, they this turtle's hauling ass. You know, it's crazy it made that far of a distance. You know, but it's really interesting. I don't know. One day it'd be cool to hold.
Yeah, get a turtle,
It'd be cool
man.
to film one. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
pretty sweet. I have this cool like microscopic lens. I thought it'd be cool to like film like a turtle's face or something.
There's your inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a favorite supervillain?
Super villain? Oh
Yeah.
man, I know Venom's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Venom's cool. Yeah, it's from Spider-Man.
Yeah, Venom's pretty wild. That's probably
He's
I would go.
I was a little disappointed when the movie came out. They did a cool job, like the kind of like creating him, but the
Yeah,
storyline, like, and that seems to be. I'm a comic book. I'm gonna nerd out a little bit on comic books. That seems to be the
yeah,
case.
yeah,
Like his storylines always like weak, but I'm like, oh, he's such a cool. I keep on subscribing because he's such a cool villain, but I'm usually disappointed by like, it could have been better. I would have went this route or whatever. Anyway,
yeah. The direction for like storyline versus like how original they can like match towards like a comic book style. It's always it's
yeah,
given play of like the expectation of it. But yeah,
how many pigeons do you think you could hold in your hand?
how many pigeons do I think I can hold?
Yeah.
Hmm. Maybe about six.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Pigeons are like big. If they were just like like what, like Mike Tyson? Doesn't Mike Tyson have pigeons?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got a bunch of pigeons.
I
I don't
think
know.
he did. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like I think he like trains them and talks to them where they can just like fly around and then come back to him.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah, it was like a
amazing.
boxing thing. He got into pigeons because they say like your hands are quick. If your hands are quick, then you can catch one. So he used to go out like and catch pigeons. And he ended up like falling in love with them. So now he's got a bunch of fucking pigeons like that he keeps as pets. And I'm not surprised that he probably trains them too. That's why.
Yeah. Well, because he was on the Rogan podcast and he was talking about like how what his daily routine was, and he's like, oh, I'll go run for like 5 miles and then go back home, let the pigeons out. And I'm like, oh, what? He still has pigeons? That's dope. It's so cool.
um, Shrimp or fish tacos and why?
Say that again.
Would you choose shrimp tacos or fish tacos and why?
Oh man, fish tacos. I think you just have that more flavor. Like
Yeah.
shrimp is like, meh. I'd like shrimp tacos too, but if you just like gave me like a salmon taco or a halibut taco, I'm like, dude, any day.
All right. This is a trick question. Who would win in a fist fight? Eddie Vedder or RIP, by the way, or the drummer from Def Leppard?
Oh my god, dude! Drummer from Def Leppard probably has a mean arm. Holy crap, dude! I don't know, man. Oh man, you can't. And he's a drummer too, so he has like crazy reflexes.
Yeah, but he's just got one arm. Did you know that? That's the trick
He just,
question.
yeah, he just, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's a hard one. Probably Def Leppard, because if he did, that would just be incredible. You're like,
Yeah,
what the hell? How did he have one arm and just fucking blew him out?
one punch.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say. Yeah, I mean, if it was the other way around, it was just like, oh man, he just knocked that guy out with one arm. I would want to see that posing guy win on that.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I believe that there's some kind of like weird paranormal shit, because I have shot some photos in the past. This was like I don't know the time frame, but probably mid 20s. Um, I was in Slow, and there was like where Trader Joe's is. There's like this. They're turning it into like a whole complex, but there was this barn there, and like a old windmill. It was all run down, and apparently back in the day, I think it was in the 60s, there was an
Yeah.
oil fire there apparently, and it was pretty gnarly. And anyway, so I was with this girl, and we're like middle of the afternoon, and I was like, oh, we should go here take some photos, and it's kind of like a cool setting. So I had her kind of on like, it was this old house, it was all boarded up and whatnot, and shooting some photos, and I was like, oh, this looks cool, you got some stuff. And I like didn't think of anything, I just sent them over to her, and she gets back to me and was like, hey, do you see anything in these photos? And I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, what do you see? And she's like, look at it. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, she sent me the photo, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, what the fuck? Like there was just like there was one where she's like leaning over like the wood railing, and you can legit see like a woman figure like flying from her. Like I don't know what the lighting. The weirdest part was there was multiple photos like this, so it was just like a lady flying towards her, and she sent me another one. It was like a kid like on the stair set, but like holding himself, like the figure of it, and it was
Yeah.
like a like all white, like, and you've seen like stuff like I feel photos and stuff like that, and I was like, and she was freaked out completely. She was like, "Oh my god, I wish I still had freaking photos." I think over time, I don't know, I lost some of them, but like she, yeah, was like so freaked out, and I was like tripping out on it. I was like, "What the hell?" I don't know, because I didn't even have a flash. It was just shooting natural light, so it was so weird that this you could definitely make out what it was,
Wow.
what the camera picked up. So bizarre. I mean, that not only that instance, but I was on a BMX trip in Arizona, and it was called a ghost. What was it called? Ghost Town Fools, I think we called it. I might be wrong on that, but we ended up doing a trip where we just went into like ghost towns, and one we stayed at this like motel that was it was haunted. Like they legit a binder full of photographs that people stayed there of weird paranormal shit they caught, and it was filled. So like they're like, and it was known for it, and we were the only people staying there. And it was funny. One of our buddies that was with us as a writer, he was like, "I'm sleeping in the van tonight. Fuck this." It was like it was, and you look at the photos, and you're like, "What the hell?" Like, no one's making these are like actual like they shot in disposable cameras or whatever.
Yeah.
And fuck, it was crazy. I was like, "Whoa, this is creepy." We didn't see anything that night, but we were just scaring the shit out of each other the entire time we were there, which was pretty hilarious. Because it was a little bit, it wasn't not. Oh, we're staying at this abandoned, or not abandoned, but this motel that has been haunted. But it was, yeah, a little bit eerie.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. To go back to the question, I believe there's some weird paranormal type. Yeah, I could some stuff that's unexplainable.
For sure, man. For sure. There's some wild shit out there. I've definitely come across people with stories, and I dedicated a whole podcast to like just ghost stories at one point.
Oh,
Are
that's
you
cool.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. Are you allergic to anything?
Well, so like 2 days ago, look how fat my hand is.
Shut up. Seriously? I thought you were gonna be like,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
peanuts. What happened? What is this? You're like double in size and you're
Okay, so I know it's ridiculous. I got a really cool opportunity to film honeybees
cool, man.
out in Fresno. So I was really cool. They were like, "Are you afraid of bees or anything?" I was like, "No." I'm like, you know, um, I didn't know. Like, I don't think this is a if anything is a very mild react allergic reaction or whatever. I didn't get like any. It was one bee sting. It was ridiculous. It's the latest reaction too. But I was like in a bee suit filming these bees and like literally getting up in the hives. I had like I was saying just like microscope lens that we're going through and like filming them. It was really awesome. It was like where the trippers think because I'm like looking through this veil trying to film and stuff, and it was really interesting. After seeing the footage, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. It's a whole nother world from a bee's eye perspective. But yeah, so I got stung, and yeah, I was like I woke up, and this happened Wednesday. Was it Saturday now? So like 2 days later, I woke up and my hand was just so beefed up. I was like, "Oh my god, I couldn't even make it fist." And I was like
Oh,
telling, I was, "Oh man," I was like, "I don't know what the hell is happening."
it looks like
I
two
took
different
some
arms.
medicine. It's yeah, serious. Crazy, you can't see it. It's all puffy, but yeah,
That's
that was probably the weird. I don't know what it is. Like I have like in the last several months, I've been get like struck by like most random things. I was on a mountain bike trail doing some mountain biking, and there was just like this. I hit this thorn in my leg, and I was like, "Ow, what the hell was that?" And next thing you know, my leg I got this crazy reaction from it. I don't know what the fuck. And I'm like
really?
tripping out. I'm like, "Oh my god, am I gonna lose my leg right now? What is this?" Like, it just, I'm just super sensitive to certain things. I don't know. As far as like anything that has any sort of natural venom in it or whatever it is, my body's like, hell no, I'm
Yeah.
overriding this shit. So yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah, because I have been stung when I was younger by a bee, and I remember it being pretty like traumatic. I mean, you're young, and it was like this big bush. And it was all kinds of bees. And I remember being like, oh my God, But I don't remember having any like severe allergic reaction, but I definitely have some sort of, I don't know, not your minimal, but above average maybe of reactions.
oh
But
man, that's crazy. I've got one
yeah,
more question for you, and then I want you to like plug your brand and your business. This is really
yeah.
specific question. Do you believe that cats are really small aliens using cat bodies as avatars to study human behavior? Me either. No, I'm just.
Yeah,
Well, I lost you for a second. What?
dude. Yeah, I love dude, yeah, I love cats so much, man. They're great. They're such assholes. They're just up to something. It's crazy. Still can't quite figure it out, but yeah, they're onto some kind of different from a different planet for sure.
Yeah, right. They're kind of creepy.
They're
I don't
like
know.
they make humans slaves. They're like, yeah, feed me, now pet me. Now I'm gonna cut you with my finger.
Right, yeah, it's gonna attack you out of
They're very,
nowhere.
controlling, demanding.
Yeah, push this mug up the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah, I love that. They're so dependent and such crazy creatures. It's great.
I want to be respectful of your time. You did fantastic, man. Thanks for even answering ridiculous questions. And I was,
Yeah, yeah, my time is all good. I'm filming from my van because I think it's like the most quiet place right now. I don't want to be disturbed.
yeah, yeah. That looks cool in there, actually. Is there anything we didn't cover that you wanted to talk about?
Anything we didn't cover that we didn't talk about? I think we covered quite a few different topics.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
feel good.
yeah.
How can people hire you, or how can people find you?
Well, that like for Room for Cream, we have roomforcreamfilms.com, and we have an Instagram, Room for Cream Films. People interested in different work, they can always just reach out through any of those platforms. And bonertime.net. And at Boner Time Rules, we couldn't get Boner Time on Instagram because it was taken. And .com, I think it's a porn site.
Yeah,
So, but my buddy Colin got .net, which I thought was even more hilarious. I was like, "Oh my god, you have that? That's amazing!" Yeah, we just keep that. It's like, who uses .net anymore? It's freaking amazing. Like,
who
it's
uses a
pretty
boner
great.
net? Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome. So we had to do like I did Boner Time Rules because it's kind of like I was like, oh, what am I gonna put? Boner Time 69 or Boner Time 420? I don't know. And I was like, Boner Time Rules. It's kind of like it's like an open ended. You don't really hear that too. Any like, oh, that rules.
it was wide
You
open.
probably, yeah. Just it's a little bit, yeah. Keeps it a little bit different.
Awesome, man.
But yeah. So yeah, check us out. Check the platforms and stuff.
Cool, man. I'll copy and paste you guys in the show notes so people can find you easily. That's it for us. Play us out, Shitty Ukulele.